The United States cannot continue spending borrowed money for everyday expenses. February the 8th, Rand Paul did a speech on the floor of the Senate that ended up closing the government down. He was trying to make a point, and Rand Paul does have a point. The problem is a budget is where you have a projected amount of money you expect to earn over a period of time. Then you have costs and commitments that takes from that projected amount. What's left is what should be used to increase money allocated for new spending or to increase money to old priorities. Never should a budget have a deficit unless for natural disaster or war. What is happening is a head in the sand mentality among our leaders. The right is insisting some spending should not be allowed because the federal government has no right under the Constitution to regulate these things in our personal life. And that may be, but reality is we have not been living under the Constitution for many decades. You can scream that is wrong and should be stopped, but most citizens do not care. The Supreme Court is full of people that believe in settled laws, so they will not undo something that's been going on for decades, no matter if it's not in the Constitution. Being in denial about today's realities will not help stop the damage from continuing before attempting to undo it. The left want unlimited spending, arguing that the federal government is best capable for regulating a safety net for citizens. Sadly, most citizens do not care if it's allowed under the Constitution. They want it, so it's not going away. Most citizens appear to be fine with some safety net regardless of if the Constitution allows it or not. The right wants to cut what the Constitution doesn't allow. They lack the votes to cut enough to get the budget to balance, and if they did, they'd be voted out of office soon after. The left will not agree to huge cuts, period, let alone closing down something already funded in the past. If you cannot cut enough to balance the budget, the only alternative is to increase the money taken in. Republicans hate taxes. Democrats have no problem doing so. In fact, they think it's our patriotic duty to hand all money to the government. What you should never do is knowingly spend more than you take in for everyday spending. Investments like transportation that would add to the value of what we have is another matter. If you do not have enough cuts, then you must raise money through taxes to pay for that spending.